What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sport. And today we're going to talk about this young beauty right here, Athena, who's absolutely amazing and looks just wonderful. I love the way she changed her outfits. It looks awesome. And the thing about this video, guys, is that this is going to be a level 90 review using her as a support character. I will be trying to do a solo later on with her in Guild Raid because she definitely can do it. But I want to have her at least at A1 before I do that. So in today's video, it's just going to be only using her as a support. We're going to use her against Guild Raid Rugal, and we're also going to be using her against Nightmare Geese, who she's going to be extremely good for, as we'll talk about in a little bit, and really going to be good for anything, really. But her leadership is just a big reason why Athena is going to be so good for any EX fighter, because she buffs them up by 50% and increases their critical damage by 35%. This is insane for her, because the more critical damage she has, the more physical damage she has, just like Lady Chin from her core effect. But also, guys, with these sets that we've been getting in these banners with this extra critical rate, critical damage, and then adding this critical damage on top of that for our EX fighters, it's just a godly leadership. It's so good because it applies to all of them, right? She has a 30% PG rate, the increased damage of 30% critical hits. She's only one of two characters that actually has this, her and Lady Chin. And then she has Reflect Stun, Fear, and Darkness. So in PvP, that's going to be very, very good. Physical damage increased by 100% of critical damage rate against enemies, which is also very, very nice. And then increases attack by 10% and penetration by 600 for 5 seconds for each attack. This will stack up to 5. That's 3,000 extra penetration and 50% extra attack. And she does have the damage immunity core by 4 seconds whenever she's down to 20% HP. And just like Lady Chin, she doesn't have a heal. So if you are trying to do solos with this character and you do take damage, you're going to have a healing striker in order to get some heals, or have a support character that can offer heals from their skills. So when you take a look at her skills, and guys, I mean, look at the build that I have on her. Again, level 90, no capsules, nothing like that, which is just to show you just how good she really is as just a support, right? But when you look at her skills, guys, I mean, her first skill, you tap it once, you get the increased attack by 60%. You enter Fury State, deal physical damage equal to 200% of attack every time the target lands a skill. And then the second time you hit the skill, you're going to get this critical rate by 40% and critical damage by 90% for 15 seconds. Now, the thing to keep in mind about all of Athena's skills when you tap them twice is that only the most recently activated effect of Psycho Dress Up is maintained. So once you hit another skill, twice, right, and change her dress up, that effect is going to be gone, and then a new effect from the other skill that you hit twice will be applied. So like, for example, guys, if I hit this skill twice, this effect is going to be up, the critical rate and critical damage. And if I just hit these second and third skill just one time, this will stay up that entire 15-second duration. However, if you hit this skill twice and you have this buff up, and then you hit the second skill twice, well, then this buff is actually going to be applied. So always remember when you're playing with her that, you know, after you hit a skill twice, this is the effect that's going to be applied from that particular skill. And if you do hit another skill twice afterwards, then that effect from that skill is going to be applied instead of the one that you previously had applied, if that makes any sense. So when you're using it as a support, this is going to be the Kingdom Come. Now, when you hit it once, you do get the increased target damage received by 60%. This is insane for a support, guys. It's so good. And then she also can increase her attack by 40%, critical damage by 20%. Again, for her, it's just nutty, right? She deals Chill and Shock on this skill, both relevant dots for Nightmare Geese, which makes her godly for that game mode. Equal to 50% attack to all enemies. This applies to Geese or whoever, no matter where they're at on the screen, all at once. Both dots at the same time. She is the first character to be able to do this. Not to apply a dot, you know, to anyone on the screen, but to apply two of relevant dots all at the same time. It's just nuts. That is crazy. And the second time you hit this skill, you increase the attack of all allies by 100% for 15 seconds. Along with the 60% increased target damage received, this is insane. Plus the penetration by 5,000 on use. That's nuts. So whenever you're using her as a support character, for the reasons that I explained earlier, you always want to hit this skill twice and then switch to your next character so you have that 100% for 15 seconds. That is very, very important, okay? The third skill gives her hyper armor. It's an interrupt skill. She has a PvP exclusive, which is really nice to remove hyper armor, and a shield. And when you hit it twice, then you get decreased damage taken by allies and self by 95% for 8 seconds on use, okay? So if you're trying to decrease damage taken by allies, then you would hit this skill twice, but you're going to want that increased attack by 100% if you're using it as a support, as I'm going to be using her in today's video. But this is really insane for survivability. This is actually very, very strong if you're trying to keep your characters alive. That is insane. That applies to all allies and stuff. So it makes her have a lot of high utility and a lot of game modes. Like, for example, if you're using her in demo space, you can actually use her to decrease damage taken. That is insane by 95%, guys. That is a very, very good effect for something like demo space, which is extremely hard now. And I will talk about that in another video. Not really so much for guild raid, but could be very good for that. And then our 3PG, 8% chance to reset active skills, which is really, really nice. You can go through your skills afterwards. Her striker effect increases HP, which is really, really good, and increases attack by 10%. Now, I don't have her leveled up, so that means I don't have any, stones on her at all, right? We got no stones. We don't have any EX core unlocked because you need to level her up in order to have some points so you can level this up. But the thing that I want you guys to note is this is a level 90 character, right? And whenever she has release, check this out. If you use release and you have her at A5, she's going to increase blast skill by 50%. 50% for 15 seconds. On top of the increased attack by 100%, on top of the increased target damage received by 60%. That is nuts. On top of the leadership that she offers for EX characters. Like, this character is just nutso as a support. And, and this is going to be really good for characters that use blast skills like Rugal, right? Or even Jin. But if you hit Thrill here, then she actually increases critical rate and critical damage. Critical rate by 12% and critical damage by 35% for 15 seconds. Again, just an insane support passive. So either way you go, it's really going to depend on the character you're buffing as far as which one of these you want to apply. If your character is like Rugal, I would definitely go for the blast skill. If your character doesn't do blast skills and their damage is really relying on a different type skill like strike or grab, then I would probably use this. It really just depends on the character that you're playing with as far as which support passive you would use, but it's just nuts that she's so versatile as a support, and this is why I say she's support. It looks like this is what she's intended to be, obviously, because of the increased attack, the extra decreased damage received that she can offer, the decreased damage received that she can offer to all the allies, the thrill, the release. Like, this is some nutty stuff, guys. Now, I'm going to be using this setup right here on her just to build up her 3PG really quick. And here's the thing, guys. I'm using her O3BG from SS Athena. I'm not even using the new one. This does offer a heal, but in all honesty, guys, you're going to see one run that I'm going to do where I don't even use the 3PG at all. And then I'm going to show you another run where I am going to be using the 3PG because I do want to show Athena kind of like in all her glory as far as against Nightmare Geese, okay? And I'll bring up the run for you guys right now. Now, this is going to be against Guild Raid Rugal. Now, in this team composition, I'm using, Athena in the leadership, and then we got Bison for the weekend, and then we're going to be, obviously we got Rugal. And yeah, guys, like the damage increase that I got from having her, from her leadership, from her attack buffs, was about 20 to 25%. 20 to 25%. To put things in perspective, guys, whenever I face against Guild Raid Rugal, I could do about 135 billion with my current build. 135 billion. And as you guys will notice, having Athena on the team at level 90. Level 90, guys. That's not much of an investment, guys. Like, if you just go to the pity and you have the crappiest luck in the world and you get this character, she's still going to be insane for you. She's still going to be insane. Now, I know I'm using Weaken here. I know I am. But guys, you have Leona, you have Iori. Those characters have Weaken also. Like, you could level up any one of those characters and get the Weaken. And if you had Athena at A5, then you would have, like, the increased blast skill damage or the increased critical rate, critical damage. Like, seriously, like, it would be just nutty. And in the next run that I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to throw in Lady Chen on top of with Athena and Rugal. And that's going to be a pretty fun little run as well. But the girl is just like, she's adding so much to my man, and it is crazy. Like, look at the damage numbers we're already putting out, guys. Like, I can do about 12 billion in one run, in one rotation. having her along with the weekend from Bison. And by the way, something else to note, guys, is if you have Lady Chin, I know this is a hell of an investment, but if you have Lady Chin at A5, you'll also get increased all target damage received by 35%. So if you have Lady Chin and Athena at A5, and not to mention Lady Chin's damage is just nuts, you're going to do even better. Like, you'll do way better than what I'm doing here. Way better, because you would have the extra blast skill damage. You would have the increased target damage by 35% instead of 30% from Bison. And all you need, guys, is just the right dot strikers. Even though Athena and Lady Chen don't have the correct dots for this, we always have Hydern and Zhang Fei who have poison and bleed that applies to all enemies on the screen. So you can literally use those characters instead and just destroy them. Look at that, like 70 billion, guys. 70 billion. And I know, like, it doesn't matter all that much because we only need 1.25 billion in this game mode, but I gotta say, it is pretty addictive when you start getting these crazy scores. Like, when you start seeing them numbers jump up, you're just like, whoa, like, we are murdering this, and it feels good. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good. I do like it. I'm also not gonna lie to you about something else, is that whenever I don't make these videos, I just do one rotation with Rugal and I'm done. I just get my 1.25 billion and I'm done. Usually that's what I do, right? Because there really is no incentive to do anything else unless you just want to have fun and you want to get the crazy scores. Whenever I stream, I'll always do a nice big run like this, you know, because it's fun, right? Everybody's like, oh my god, like, this is just insane. Plus, I love showing off good old Rugal, right? I mean, it's kind of what it's all about, right? Showing off your favorite character. And, you know, the scary thing about this is, or the crazy thing is, you know, like, the next characters are probably going to be even stronger. So, like, right now, guys, they threw out Athena that has, you know, chill and shock into one skill in her second skill, which leads me to believe that in the next banner, they might have a bleed/poison all in one skill on another character. It is very likely that they could do that. But again, guys, we have a bleed in Hydern and Zhang Fei and Striker that applies poison. So it isn't really a need. But having all that dot on one skill like it is on Athena, especially against Nightmare Geese, you will see in a little bit that is nice. That is very nice, because you can literally use that character, even at level 90. You can use that character to melt the meter, guys. It's pretty wild, I have to say. But my man is, I mean, guys, look. I told you earlier that I got like about 135, 136 billion with the team composition I used before, which was Bison and Kusanagi with Rugal. But now that I switched up Athena and put her in the leadership and we're using her buffs, right? We're doing way more damage. And I want you guys to pay attention to Athena. Again, when I bring her in, I'll hit the third skill once, just have the hyper armor, and then I'll hit the second skill twice, so we get that increased attack buff before I switch to Rugal. And I'm telling you, I bet you anything, they're going to throw in another character that's going to have bleed and poison on him, just like Athena has the shock and chill. I bet you anything, in another banner, that's exactly what they're going to do. And then you're going to have like that god tier support for, you know, this guild raid, right? Because right now, we have the god tier support for Nightmare Geese. But when I think about, you know, having these girls at A5 and the addition to damage that they offer, it really is like, it's tempting. I gotta say, Netmarble really, you know, threw it out there as far as like what these girls can do for you. I keep talking to them about them as just supports. They're actually they're damn strong, guys. Crazy strong. But now, see, I screwed up here. I hit my damn default by accident. Screwed up there. That was a little bit of a mistake, but it is what it is. Her support passive lasted 15 seconds, so I didn't really lose too much, right? Didn't lose too much. But but these girls, you know, I focus on the support thing because it really does look like Athena. That's what she was meant to do, even though she is a very strong character. She is, guys. She's really powerful. But I do think Lady Chen might be a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit stronger as far as damage, but Athena's definitely the better support. And I think actually for a lot of players out there might have a little bit more value because of that, right? I mean, that decreased damage received on her third skill, we're not showing it off here, but maybe in demo space that would actually be really good. I mean, you guys just saw me hit 163 billion, right? 163 billion which is just astronomical, right? I mean, look at that. 164 billion. That is nuts. Oh, that is absolutely insane, guys. Just crazy that we're putting out that kind of damage in one key. Why do we need to do it? I don't know. I guess just for showing off and having a little fun. So right here, guys, I'm going to back that up a little bit. Right here, kind of screw it. Oh, there we go, right there. So in this team composition, guys, you can see that I got Athena in the leadership, and I have Lady Chen as the second character, and then I'm just using, King as a striker because she offers extra PG rate, and then of course, Rugal with a Dual Lawn as a striker because Dual Lawn as a striker for Rugal is actually really good because we actually get extra critical rate on top of increased attack, which really buffs up Rugal's damage. He does a lot more critical hits, therefore doing a lot more damage. And now, watch how I do this, okay? Now, in this run, we're actually going to be using the 3PG for Athena. And the beautiful thing about that SS Athena 3PG is it doesn't get interrupted. Now, I went in and switched to Rugal. We want to do our 3PG because we want to have the concentration ready in our next rotation. So I'm just going in and doing my 3PG, emptying it out, right? And then we're going to bring in Lady Chen. We're going to do her 3PG, right? And do it. And then we'll switch to Athena and apply the right dots. So we switch to Athena, we apply the right dots, we do our 3PG, right? We're going to melt the meter a little bit, right? You can see the numbers there in red, right? We're going to hit the first skill and the second skill again, and then we, boom, right? Now you'll notice what I'll do afterwards is change it up a little bit. I'll actually be using Lady Chen to help break the meter after I use Athena. So now we're going to get in this nice little steady rotation where we're going to easily be able to whoop its butt. And I got to say, guys, like Lady Chen, her first skill breaks meters so fast when you have the right dot applied. Watch what happens after I use Athena right here, okay? So we'll do the 3PG. I'll do the third and second skill twice. I'll switch to Lady Chen, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, break the meter, do a few more, a little bit more damage, and then bring in Rugal, right? Now, the rotation is a little bit off, and I'm telling you guys, if I was using Athena's new 3PG, which is a longer animation, I believe, the timing would actually be better and we'd actually be doing more damage because there's a couple seconds every rotation where we're just kind of out in the open and the timer is running down. The more you stall that timer, the more damage you can do over time if you're delaying it by using your 3PGs and your defaults more often throughout the fight. And you notice, like right now, guys, like right here, there's time running down on that timer, so it's actually kind of hurting us in our damage, but the damage numbers are still just insane. And by the way, guys, I tested this, using Kusanagi, and I still did more damage with what I'm doing right now, right? Because we're getting increased target damage received by 60%. We're getting it from Athena, and we also can get it from Lady Chen, right? I'm really just using Lady Chen just to break the meters and just really showing her off in a run with Athena, kind of nailing two birds with one stone. I mean, look at that, guys. It was like the meter was like halfway, and she just like, and just melted that thing like it was nothing, right? 54 billion halfway through this with a level 90 Athena in the leadership, a A1 Lady Chen as my meter breakers and my buffers, and then of course Rugal for the damage. That's pretty nuts, guys. I mean, I gotta say, and the fact that I'm easily keeping these characters alive. So like, if you were using Lady Chen and you were using Athena and you're using the same setup that I'm doing here, you could easily take any character as a damage dealer other than Rugal. You don't have to use Rugal. You could use Jin, you could use Akuma, you could use Ryu, you could use Chun-Li, whoever you want, and you'll absolutely murder the crap out of this thing. You'll absolutely murder Baiken, whoever you're using, you'll absolutely murder because these girls can easily break that meter because Athena's applying the right dot. They're going to buff up whatever character that you're using as a damage dealer. You don't have to use Rugal. You can use any character you want. Use your favorite character, whoever that character may be. Like, if it isn't Rugal, use whoever you want. Right? I mean, and just like I said earlier, if these girls were A5, can you imagine the damage increase? Can you imagine if I had 50% increase to my blast skill damage from Athena? If I had that increased target damage received by 35% from Lady Chen? Can you imagine the difference in damage? Right? Or even if I was using Lady Chen maxed out and I was using her concentrate and then using Rugal with concentrate, I don't know how that would work. I think it'd be better just have one with concentrate. But can you imagine the damage, guys? It would just be nuts. You know, increase target damage received by 60%, increase target damage received by 35%, the increase the blast skill damage by 50%, or increase critical rate by 12%, and increase critical damage by 35%. I mean, either way you would go there, it's going to be nutty. I mean, especially depending on the character that you're using. And I'll gladly show you guys like runs with other damage dealers, you know, like maybe Akuma. I have an A7 Akuma or whatever, showing you that this works out really, really well. Another thing, by the way, about Athena's dots is even whenever Geese is in an iframe, they will apply, guys, because they apply to all enemies. So you don't have to worry about missing your dot either, which is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And let me get all the way in here. Look at that, 111 billion, guys. 111 billion. That is a pretty damn nutty score, especially against Nightmare Geese. And I have done other runs where I used SS Mary, and I tried all kinds of things. But for me, I got the most damage when I just used Athena and Lady Chen as supports for my Rugal. So I gotta say, guys, like as a level 90 character, I mean, listen, man, you could have the crappiest luck in the world, and if you go to that pity once, if you had 18,000 rubies and you go to that pity once and you just get Athena, right? You're going to do really, really well. I mean, you don't even need her 3PG from this banner, although it would be better. But if you had like, let me look at something really quick regarding her 3PG. Let me look at something here. Okay. So increased critical damage. I mean, it's going to be really great for her damage. That's for damn sure. But if you had the SS Athena 3PG, that's still going to work out really, really well for you. And you honestly, guys, you could get away without using a 3PG at all. If you just had level 90 Athena, you could just use her, just apply the dots and then apply a good shredder afterwards and just shred the meter while those dots are applied and still get the buffs from Athena. I mean, she's a godly support. She is the best support in the game easily for any character that's available. Her leadership only applies to EX characters, which we know are the cream of the crop, but her buffs apply to any character in the game, which makes her the best support of all. So finally, Kusanagi has been topped by our girl Athena. So guys, let me know what you think about Athena, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. G2+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.